Today, we are diving deep into a massive global financial fight. We're talking about staggering amounts of money, some of the world's most powerful corporations, and a system that one report calls a global gag order. This is the story of a battle for hundreds of billions of dollars, and believe me, it is happening right now.
So to really get what's at stake here, we have to start with a number. And it's a number that's so big, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your head around.
$475 billion. That's the number the Taxjustice Network says countries lost out on in corporate tax revenue in just 6 years. To put that into perspective, what could you even do with that much money? Well, it's way more than the entire $300 billion global climate finance fund. So the money to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges, it's there. It's just, well, it's not being collected. So how is a loss this huge even possible? The Taxjustice Network points its finger at something they call a global gag order, a system they say keeps corporate tax shenanigans totally hidden from the public eye. Okay, so what exactly is this global gag order? I know, it sounds dramatic, right? Like something out of a spy movie. But it actually refers to a very specific and very powerful part of international tax law. So here's the deal. It all goes back to a 2015 standard that was supposed to increase transparency. Governments started getting all this detailed data from multinational companies about where they make their profits. But, and this is a huge but, there was a catch. A rule forced them to make the company names anonymous before they published any of it. So a tool designed for transparency basically became a shield for secrecy. And without that public spotlight, what happened? Well, the report says tax abuse just exploded. It points to a huge spike in profit shifting by U.S.-based multinationals right after the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. In fact, these corporations are now pegged as being responsible for almost a third of all corporate tax losses that countries suffer every single year. So this entire situation has brought the whole world to a critical decision point, a real fork in the road that will define the future of the global economy. And you can see from this quote, this isn't just a debate about money and tax codes. It's really a debate about power. The fundamental question is, who gets to write the rules for the global economy? And you've basically got two competing visions on the table. One is what the report calls a might is right approach, where companies are mostly just taxed by their home country. The other vision is a new UN tax convention that would create a fair allocation of taxing rights, meaning companies get taxed where they actually do their business. Let's break down the technical difference, because it's pretty simple. The old system is basically pay where you say. A company can just declare its profits in a tax haven where it might only have a P.O. box. The new idea is pay where you play. Your taxes are based on where you have real stuff. You know, employees, factories, sales. If that change happens, tax havens pretty much become useless overnight. Okay, so with hundreds of billions of dollars just vanishing from public budgets, the big question has to be, who is actually paying the price for all this? And here's where it gets really ironic. The country that loses the most money in pure dollar terms is the United States itself. We're talking over $158 billion. But you can see other huge economies like France, Germany, India, and the UK are also losing out big time. But this isn't just about dollars and cents. Organizations like Human Rights Watch are connecting these massive revenue losses directly to underfunded public services, and they're framing it as nothing less than a human rights crisis. It has a real, devastating human cost. And the report draws a direct and honestly heartbreaking line from those lost tax dollars to the consequences. It calculates that this level of tax abuse contributes to over 60,000 preventable deaths of young children every single year. All because public services like healthcare and sanitation don't have the funding they need. Now, this isn't just some historical analysis of what went wrong. This battle over who gets to write the world's tax rules, it is happening as we speak. So get this, the tax system we've been using for a century was set up back in the 1920s. And after years of being stretched to its breaking point, that 2017 U.S. tax law was kind of the final straw. So right now, countries are in these intense negotiations at the UN for a brand new tax convention, with the final deal expected in 2027. So when you boil it all down, this is way more than just a negotiation over tax codes. It's really a defining moment for the entire global community. It's a decision about the fundamental rules of our interconnected economy. And that leaves all of us with one final provocative question. In the 21st century, who gets to write the rules that affect us all?
Is it going to be the most powerful economies, or will it be a new set of rules built by everyone? A true global consensus. That is the multi-hundred billion-dollar question being decided right now.